Hello and welcome to our episode of FinTech Focus TV with me, Toby Babb. We are here today at the Trading Tech Summit in Canary Wharf, and I'm joined by Diana from Keysight and Clive from Instrumentix. How are you guys?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Good, very good indeed, very good indeed. Thanks for coming on the show. A busy day here in Canary Wharf. I know you've been on the stage, we'll come on to that in a second. Clive, I've been seeing you working the floor all day as well. We're coming towards the end of it. It's the awards and the drinks coming up soon, so it's a bit everyone loves. And this is the crescendo of the whole day for me. So thanks ever so much for coming on. Let's, before we dive into what you've been talking about and such like, give us a quick intro. Diana, tell us about yourself and the company.
Sure. So Diana Stanescu, I'm Director of Finance and Capital Markets at Keysight. Keysight used to be a company which was part of Hewlett-Packard years ago. Okay. So it's quite a big company. At some point, the test and measurement division of Hewlett-Packard became its own company. So in time, evolved and acquired a few other companies. So we are one of the divisions which is focused on finance and capital markets. So our main focus is around optimizing the trading infrastructure, but also market data monitoring and trading analytics monitoring, which we'll speak in a second with Clive as well.
Fantastic. And Clive?
Yeah.
No stranger to the show. So.
Absolutely, been on a couple of times before. Thank you very much, Steve, for having me back. Clive Posselt, Instrumentix. We partner with Keysight, and we are a trading infrastructure monitoring and analytics platform serving customers around the world, including exchanges, banks, brokers, proprietary trading firms. So the synergy to what Keysight does and what we bring to the table has been great in this partnership that we can talk a bit about later.
Fantastic. So before we get onto that, let's go back to you being on stage there before. The bright lights were on you. I had Elliot on beforehand now from BMLL as well, who was on there. I've heard great feedback from the conversation, a really interesting points that you were covering. So data as a competitive advantage, the general sort of theme. Tell us some of the takeaways from your panel today.
Sure, very interesting panel indeed. I think data is a big subject these days, and I personally like the subject and have a passion for data. I think some of the key takeaways is that there's a lot of data which can be processed, especially in the last couple of years, and it's getting more and more, and you have the cloud data which is providing even more information, and you have the AI on top of it. So it's a lot about the quality of the data. It's not about how much data you have, but what data you have, what is the quality of the data, what data can you trust, and what data do you need. Because if you have all the data in the world and it's not specific for what you need, or it's not good quality, it's a waste of your time at the end of the day, and it can be a loss and not a win.
Yes, and it's such an important part of what you're saying, and particularly there around the sort of sheer volume of data at the moment. Yeah. And I think when you look at the macro themes now today of the advance of AI, it's nothing without the data as the underlying part of it. And I think so many people are talking about that and getting that sort of concept right. That you've got to get the foundations right before everything else is built. So some interesting stuff that's going from there. Now, I also want to talk about the partnership that you two are creating, the companies are creating around that as well. Sounds like a fascinating combo from what you have been telling me so far. Tell us a little bit about the whole, what the origin story is of this partnership and what it means for clients and customers alike.
Sure. So at Keysight, we were having lots of our customers, especially in the low trading area, who were using our products to capture the market data, traffic, nanoseconds level, and then to monitor the market data. So that was a great area for us, but the feedback from the customers was that the cycle is not completed because we were missing the trading analytics of monitoring, the order entry monitoring. So we listened and we looked, and we were collaborating in the past on some of the projects. So we thought it would be a very nice partnership. So together we can actually offer the end-to-end monitoring to our customers.
Yeah, we'd collaborated with Keysight in the past where joint customers were using some of your tap aggregators, taps, etc., and we were integrating with those and doing our analytics around it. But what we found was, as we worked more together over a period of time, synergies grew, and what we're now doing, we've taken a step further, that we've actually integrated our analytics onto your packet brokers, which is a complete first in the industry. So we can have the best of breed market data, health and gap analysis added into our network and trading analytics space as well. So putting that to go together has been great. Customer feedback's been really, really good. And for Instrumentix, the business, it's great to partner with a company the size of Keysight. It helps us scale, it helps us really support our customers, and particularly in areas where we wouldn't necessarily be able to do it as easily in the past, in Asia and outside sort of US and European market hours. So it's been a real win-win for us, and hopefully for Keysight as well.
For us, yes.
And I'm always interested in those sort of first time it's been done sort of plays, because you have in most things you have the early adopter curve and the struggles of actually getting that through. The interesting thing of what you just said, well, everything was interesting what you said just then, but the piece where you're talking there about the feedback from customers is critical to it, because it can always feel like a great idea, right? And you can say, look, it makes sense to us, and then you go out and take it into the market, and it's a different sort of feedback. Yeah, it's nice, but it isn't necessarily a game changer. It feels like this is a bit more game changing, but client feedback to me becomes the great kingmaker of the whole thing. Tell us what's being fed back to you, what's happening with that.
I think the first thing to say is, why did we do it? Yeah. As Kevin Formby, Diana's colleague, said recently, why did we come up with this? Because clients were asking us to. Yeah. They were asking for
the best way, isn't it?
The best way to do it. So that's been great. I think what we're finding from customer feedback is to be able to have the flexibility to have packet broker analytics all on one box has been great for them. It's obviously a cost saving, less rack space, etc., and that's been really good. But also, if they've got user cases that are bigger and broader than that, they can run us alongside rather than solely on that packet broker basis. So it's the flexibility for the customers to get what they really want. It's been great feedback from them.
I think a major sort of theme of the last couple of years has been partnerships. From an industry that had always been sort of very competitive, I think we're seeing a lot more partnership-based agreements come in play, and it's benefiting everyone. It's benefiting end user, and it's benefiting the companies that are behind it. What was the driver? As Clive said, it's been a sort of win-win, very much a win-win for a great bit of work for them. What was the driver behind that sort of thing coming to you guys and saying this is going to be something that really works for all parties?
Well, I think you can't work as a solo company, so it's always a win-win situation if you find someone you can partner with. Yeah. Yes, you can start and develop in-house and do everything in-house, but it's time-consuming, it's more expensive, you don't know exactly the results, where if you have a trusted company where you know the product, it's a very good and stable, robust product, and you can have this opportunity to partner, it's much better for everyone, so for us, for Instrumentix, and for customers who are getting a mature product. Yeah. Which is well tested and is not something which is first-hand on the market. So I think it's the credibility and the fact that we can go and say, we are not testing something new now, but we are partnering with a very good product, which is going to offer you what you needed and what you asked for.
So both companies win, all the clients win, we're in a good position. That's all you can want for it, isn't it? Yeah. So let's look ahead to 2025 and come back to the Trading Tech Summit today. There's been a packed agenda. We've seen lots of different people talking, some great panels, some great conversations, some great individual. For me, there's been some key themes that have come out of that, some key things that people are looking at, some trends that we're seeing in the marketplace. I'm interested to see what the takeaways from you guys are and what some of the key predictions that you've got for 2025 in the markets have. So what do you see is happening? What's some of the things that we can take away from today?
I think there are few trends I've noticed. One is regulation. It's quite a big trend and something people are quite anxious about 2025, especially lots of uncertainty and discussions about DORA and what DORA implication is regarding market data, for example. But then is the entire discussion of data and AI trends. So where is this going to be? How much AI is going to evolve and what is the next use of AI? Because it's still in the phase where it's still in trial and error. So where it's going to, it will be interesting to see in 2025.
I think that sort of uptake and how embedded it gets. We know it's inevitable.
Yes.
But when and how much do we see this year is definitely my take from where we're going. And Clive, tell us about some of the things that people have been talking to you about today.
I think DORA is a very interesting subject, and it's very broad. Yeah, it's very broad. But one of the key things for us is if you looked at some data that came out in the last few days around European equities wallet size, for example, down about 14% last year, up about 4% now, seems to have plateaued out, but it's much smaller than it used to be. So firms are having to differentiate themselves, and the way they're doing that is really customer service and customer experience. So again, a lot of what we're seeing is people coming to us, not just wanting to be able to look at optimizing their trading stack for low latency performance, which has been our bread and butter, but we've got more firms coming to us who are maybe less latency sensitive, but are getting more and more interested and more demand to ensure the stability of their platforms and the experience of their customers. So I think there are products and services that have been used in the low latency space where people have gone, we're not really there, we're not in that area, are actually moving to different areas of the food chain.
I think it's really interesting. There's some themes that keep coming back to at the moment. And one of the things that's been said to me time and time again today is obviously the efficiency and productivity piece that we've spoken about. But I love the fact that you just came back into where I think this should always be set, which is that sort of a user experience. And we're talking there about friction reduction, about creating the best possible. We've got much more digital expectations, much higher expectations of our products. And that customer experience piece, friction reduction, speed, efficiency, is everything there. There's been a lot of conversations I had recently, particularly in this sort of, on high frequency, all the low latency spaces. We've seen a lot of people talking about the sort of move from speed to quality. I think quality then drives efficiency at the same sort of time as well. So, absolute things that we've been talking about today.
Yeah, and just to add to what Clive said, totally agree with you. So we see exactly the same. So the low latency customers want quality and want to be even faster, because with all the amount of data and AI, they want to be more competitive. And the ones who are not into low latency trading, indeed, they want to focus more on quality and the customer experience. So it's a trend to increase the services on both sides.
Both in hand, more faster, quicker, cheaper, better, with more quality. Listen, lovely speaking to you both. Thanks so much for coming on. I'm really excited about the partnership. I'll be fascinated to see how it all works for you. I'm sure it's going to be an absolute flyer. Thanks for coming on the show today and joining us on FinTech Focus TV.
Nice to be back on, sir.
Absolutely. And thank you all for watching. We'll see you soon on the next episode. Thanks a lot.